People like that tend to be shady and like they will do you any type of way. That is somebody who has boundary issues. Because how could you be happy for someone you're jealous of? It just doesn't work that way. There is going to be a time where you are just wrong. You really see the real side of somebody when you tell them no. Well, I had this coworker. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing a get ready with me, and we're going to be talking about something that I think is very, very important. It's something I've just been thinking about and I wanted to share with you guys. So I have like all of my points on my phone, but we're going to be talking about red flags in people in general. I know a lot of people get caught up on like romance, love, and relationships, and red flags in women, red flags in men. We're going to be talking about red flags in people, like red flags in everyone. So we're going to be talking about red flags in your family relationships, your platonic relationships, your romantic relationships, all relationships. Like it doesn't really matter the connection. Like we're getting into the red flags in people and character flaws and what you should watch out for when you're surrounding yourself with other individuals. Because, you know, birds of a feather flock together. So who you have around you is very important. So I have all my points in my notes because I don't want to miss a thing. We're going to get into the nitty gritty of red flags, and I'm just going to start my makeup and get into my first point. I always start with brows because if you don't start with brows, what are you doing? Here's my concealer. So the first red flag is that they always have a constant victim mentality. We're diving right in. If someone always has a victim mentality, they are always going to be the one who was done wrong, or they did nothing wrong, something was done to them. I feel like that first one's very self-explanatory. They're always just going to be the victim. They're never going to be at fault. It's always going to be your fault or someone else's fault. The next red flag is if they gossip about everybody. Let me just tell you something. If somebody is gossiping, talking trash about someone to you, they're doing the same thing to you. If someone has something negative to say about someone to you all the time, like they gossip about everybody, they family, they friends, whoever they're dating, like if they're gossiping, telling you things that they shouldn't really necessarily be telling you, or speaking about somebody in a negative light, or like saying things they wouldn't say to that person's face, like they're talking trash, they're doing it to you too, okay? It's not cute. Like, why are you talking about somebody? Especially if you wouldn't say it to their face. Whatever it is, like it could be anything like under the sun. If that person isn't there, like can't speak for themselves, and you're not bold enough to say it to their face, you shouldn't even be talking about nobody. Period. Like, it's that simple. What's the point? Like, it says a lot about the person gossiping. And then it's like, there's so many things in this world and so many interesting conversations and topics, but like, you'd rather focus on a particular person and make it negative. Like, I don't really understand the fun in gossiping about somebody. And we're all human. Like, I'm not saying, oh, no one to speak on anybody, but it's just like, it gets to a point where it's like, wow, you have nothing better to talk about or to do. Like, you don't got any hobbies, any interests, things that like intrigue you today. Like, that's what your mind is thinking about. So if they're gossiping about everybody, like, I don't even want to be around that person because I know you're talking crazy about me. The next one is people who lack empathy. They just will never understand you on an emotional level. Anything you feel, like your feelings are going to be invalidated every single time. Like, no matter the situation or scenario, they are never going to see it from your point of view emotionally. They'll just see whatever they want to see, but your feelings aren't a part of what they're seeing. So they're never going to fully understand where you're coming from. And they honestly don't want to because they lack empathy. And this doesn't necessarily make them a bad person, because most people who do this or like lack empathy just aren't really capable of being vulnerable, or like they're uncomfortable with it. Sometimes they can't even emotionally connect with others. But we're getting into red flags. We're not getting into whether people are bad or good. These are more like character flaws or just things people can work on. So it comes down to people working on themselves and whether they care to even grow in that way. Because with someone who lacks empathy, they're going to have to acknowledge that to fix it or to improve on it. So we're getting into just like what it is, not whether, oh, they're bad because of this or that. Like, they're either working on themselves or they're not. So that's a big one. Lack of empathy. Like, they're just never going to understand you. You're always going to feel like you're always going to feel like you're not cared for in a way. Like, they're not seeing it. They're not feeling how you feel. Like, they're not taking into account of your feelings. So that is a big red flag. This next one is a big one for me. Like, this type of person cannot be around me. And that is someone who is jealous of other people's success. Like, they just cannot be happy for them. It doesn't matter if it's a big or a small win. Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, whatever it is, they're not going to be happy for you, and they're going to be in competition with you, which you can't have anyone around you that is in competition with you. Like, it's just not going to work. Like, anything you do well or anything that works out for you is going to make them mad. Like, they're never going to be happy for you, because how could you be happy for someone you're jealous of? It just doesn't work that way. And it honestly, like, it has nothing to do with you directly. Like, it does and it doesn't, because they're jealous of you, but honestly, they're going to be jealous of any and everyone that's doing well, because honestly, people who are jealous of other people, just like success or just of them or who they are as a person, it doesn't matter. Just like any type of jealousy, it just really says a lot about them, and it highlights their shortcomings. Like, when you're doing something well and like they're not, or like, or there's something that they're trying to achieve, like, you guys can be in totally different worlds or like completely different lanes. But if they're not able to achieve something, or they feel like they're not where they want to be, anything you're doing, even if it doesn't correlate to them, is going to be a problem, because your success is just highlighting their shortcomings. And that person you cannot be around, because why would you want to be around someone who, like, low-key secretly hates you? Because anyone who doesn't want to see you doing well, they don't really like you for real. Like, it just comes down to that. To add on to that too, like, on top of like not being happy for you, not only are they not happy for you, they're probably gonna downplay any and everything you do. And I've had this happen to me, like, and this is why I'm doing this video on all relationships, because I've had this happen, and I've had this happen with every type of relationship. So it could be family, romantic, platonic. Like, I've had it happen from men and women. It doesn't really matter. It's the person. It's their character and who they are. So I'm going to leave that one there. Somebody who has boundary issues. This is also a big one for me. If you cannot respect a boundary and you think it's a joke, get away from me. I'm so sorry. I feel like people that don't respect boundaries know that they aren't respecting boundaries. Like, they're pushing it because they want to do what they want to do. They only care about themselves. So your boundaries aren't going to matter to them. What matters to them is getting their way and what they want and how they want it. So people who disregard your boundary, big red flag, because they know it's a boundary. They know there's something making you uncomfortable or something you just don't play about, and they're doing it anyway. It's kind of like when there's like caution tape or something blocked off with cones, and someone removes the tape or moves the cone anyway. They're not respecting the boundary. They're not acknowledging why it's there in the first place. They don't really care about all those like little pieces of information. They just want in. Okay, so that's how I'm going to reference that, or like that's the example I'm going to give for that. That is somebody who has boundary issues. Somebody who has boundary issues just does not respect you, point blank, period. They have no respect for your time, your well-being, who you are as a person, emotionally, physically. If they don't have respect for you, they are not going to respect your boundaries. They don't care. And that's just what it comes down to. And that person can't be around you either. The next one is unfortunately a very common red flag, and a lot of people do it, and that is someone who never apologizes and never changes. There is going to be a time where you are just wrong, and there's a point where you have to own up to that. And people who can't do that, you really can't have a place in your life, because you're going to be in a revolving door with this person, because they're not going to apologize. They're going to keep doing what they're doing. And for a person who does apologize without changing, like, you're going to be stuck in a revolving door with that person too. When you accept that type of behavior from somebody who never apologizes or never changes, you are signing up to go in a circle with them. And one thing about going in circles, you're going to get dizzy. Like, what's the point in it? Like, if somebody continuously does something and doesn't apologize for it, they're wasting your time, because they're just never going to see it for what it is. And then you have those people that do actually apologize, but they don't really mean it, and it shows in their actions. But I think I was saying something along the lines of, like, when someone apologizes and they don't really mean it, it definitely shows up in their actions. But my next one is one-sided relationships. And these are the ones where you do so much for them, you support them, show up for them, and they never reciprocate that energy. And I'm not saying people have to do things for you just because you did things for them. But I mean like in a sense of like reciprocating energy or like support. Like just there's different ways you can reciprocate things in relationships, like to show that you're involved and like you care or like you're supporting them. It's a big red flag when you're the only one putting energy and effort into any type of relationship and they're just like showing you no love back. Then that's a really big one too. Like it's kind of like a giver taker situation. Like you're giving, like whether that's material things or like energy or like your attention, like you're giving these things to someone and they're just taking it and they're not giving you a thing back. It doesn't have to directly like be the same thing, but like they're not giving you a thing back. Like they're pretty much like not involved. Like that's why it's a one-sided relationship. You're not getting anything from them, they're just getting things from you. I cannot stand this next red flag, and that is somebody that is unreliable or flaky. I do not play about my time or just about certain things when it comes to me. You say you're gonna do something, you don't, or you say you're gonna be somewhere and you're not. Like someone who's continuously like flaky or continuously unreliable, like you can't be around me. And I'm not even the type to ask for favors, and I also don't do favors for people. Like I don't ask crazy things of people, and I expect them not to ask crazy things of me. But if you can't like be reliable or like show up for me in certain ways, like when I know for a fact it's not hard, then like no, like I'm not entertaining that because it gets to a point where the person is like so unreliable and flaky that you don't even trust them anymore. Like you can't trust anything they say because they're so unreliable and flaky. I'm like, I'm not gonna trust or believe a thing you say. Like everything you say is like cap. Like you say you're gonna do one thing and you don't, or like you're just never present where you said you're gonna be present. Like I don't trust a thing you say, and I feel like trust is very important in all relationships. So you being unreliable and flaky, like I really don't trust you. And if I don't trust you, then there's really not much of a relationship there in the first place, right? So yeah, being unreliable and flaky is a big no-no for me, like a big red flag, because they're never really gonna be there when you need them. Like that's the type of person that's not gonna show up for you, be there, miss important things, and is gonna let you down. And like people aren't gonna always be there. Like it's gonna be times where like you can't do something or show up, but like if it's consistent, like that's what you're known for, like that's your thing. Like I can't stand that. That's just something I cannot get with because I consider myself like a reliable person and I am not a flake. Like if anything, if I feel like I can't be somewhere like or do something, I'm gonna be honest. Like if I'm that way, that's how I want people around me to be, if that makes sense. So birds of a feather flock together. Like if that's something that I do, like I expect people around me to be reliable and not flaky too. The next red flag is someone who always has drama in their life, like big drama. Not like, because everyone has things going on, like we're only human, like things happen. But I mean like drama, like they're always beefing with somebody. There's always a problem. Like 9 times out of 10, if this person's around or like their name is mentioned or something, like there's an issue. People who have a lot going on in their life, like drama wise, like that's what they thrive on. They thrive on problems and they thrive on drama. And 9 times out of 10, like whatever is going on with them, they're somehow going to involve you. So people who always have drama in their lives, like not the move because there's always going to be an issue. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to get dragged into it some way, somehow, just from being around them. I'm going to try to get through these all like quickly because I feel like my camera is going to like overheat or run out of battery. But the next one is lacking integrity. Like, do you stand for anything? Do you have like a moral code or like principles? Because if not, like people like that tend to be shady and like they will do you any type of way. Do you any type of way because they have no moral code or principles or like anything that they stand on. Like they just don't care and they will justify things that they do because they just don't care. Like it is what it is with them and they have nothing to stand on. Like they have a weak character. They don't care. So that's also like I say all of these are big ones because I feel like all of these points, all these red flags, all of them are pretty common for one, but two, they all are important. Like why would you want to hang around someone who has like hopefully not all of these red flags, but like isn't working on improving them? But yeah, someone who lacks integrity is just not good to be around in general. nothing applies to them. That's okay, yeah, that's a good way to explain it. It's really because they have no moral code or principles. So like they have no rules, and rules just like don't apply to them. So they're gonna do you any type of way and justify it. And that's why I say they're shady, because like they don't care. Like there is no rules with them. And the next one is someone who uses people. Now, I think everyone should be around someone who's beneficial for them in like different ways, but that shouldn't be the only reason. Like, relationships are built on certain things like trust, love, care, whatever you want to say. And someone who has relationships based on like what people can give to them, those are the people you have to watch out for, because the second you can't give them anything, they're out of there. It's just like that's all they care about. But like I said, I think people should be around certain people. Like I think you should be getting something from like certain relationships, like not in a bad way, because I think as people you should be picky and like you should be able to choose who you want to hang around for whatever reason. But like if that's the only reason, then like you need to reevaluate yourself. Like I hope I'm explaining this well. Like I think you should strive to have good like healthy relationships and like certain people around you. Like I think like needs to be around like most of the time. If you want to be around a certain type of individual, that's fine, but when you base it on what they can give you, that's where I feel like it goes left, because it's like you wouldn't be around that person if they weren't giving something to you. Because I feel like we all need to be using each other in a certain way. Like there's a positive way and a negative way to do that. You should definitely want to be around somebody because you want to be around them, because they have certain like characteristics or certain traits that you like. Like I want to be around someone who's reliable. I want to be around someone who can manage their time. Like, does that make sense? I think I'm making sense. The next red flag is someone who is a hypocrite, because y'all, hypocrites, first of all, usually very judgmental people, but not only are they being judgmental, they're also living a lie. Because if you can judge someone for something that you're doing, ironically, you're living a lie. Because how could you tell someone to do one thing and turn around and do the opposite? Like you're not practicing what you're preaching pretty much. Like you tell someone to not do something and you go hard on it, like don't do this. You turn around and go do it, like what does that say about you? Hypocrite. And the funny thing about hypocrites is like they'll be like, well, this is different because or this doesn't apply to me because of this, or like they're always the exception. Like, well, I can do this because of this. Like, no, you're a hypocrite if you tell someone not to do something and you go do it, or if you don't like practice what you preach and you turn around and do like the opposite of things you say out your mouth. You're a hypocrite and you're judgmental and you're pretty much living a lie. But yeah, no one likes a hypocrite. It just doesn't make sense. It's like, it's conflicting. It's very conflicting. I'm finally on the last red flag, and that is somebody who cannot handle the word no. They just can't accept it. Like they're about to pout. You're about to see a whole nother side of them just because they didn't get their way. People that can't handle a no are like the same people that cannot respect a boundary or anything you put in place. Those are the same exact people. It's so wild to me. Like the word no like sets them off. Like when you tell someone no, like I don't like believe in testing people, but honestly, you really see the real side of somebody when you tell them no. How they react tells you everything you need to know in any type of relationship. I actually have a story that's like a perfect example of someone who can't handle no. And like I have multiple stories, but this one just stands out. Kind of like a man like getting rejected. Like a man could be like, oh, you so fine, like let me get your number, and you're like, no, and then they're like, you ugly anyway. Like you see a different side, right? Well, I had this coworker, we'll call my coworker Lisa. So me and Lisa always had like the same shifts, like we worked at the same times, like we were always on shift together, right? And Lisa like was chill. Like me and Lisa would kiki at work or whatever. And like side note, your coworkers never ever your friends. Like I've never kicked it with a coworker. This person I was just like cordial with, and like we were cool. Like there's nothing wrong with getting along with your coworkers, but they're not your friends. It's not like work hours or if not on the clock. Like we don't know each other outside of this building pretty much, right? So me and Lisa, we were cool. Like I'm like, oh yeah, Lisa, cool people. Like we just be like talking about different stuff. Like we have our little jokes. We're cool. Well, one thing about Lisa is Lisa didn't have a car, and I noticed. Ow. Let me focus on this real quick. And I noticed my other coworker that I would always be on shift with, like these two people I was always working with, we were all cool. Three of us were always on the same shift, like we had the same schedule. And I noticed this other coworker, we'll name him Johnny. Johnny, after like pretty much every day, we would all get off at the same time, and Johnny would always have to drive Lisa home daily. It was like a carpool situation. It was to the point where like I'm like, did they grow up together? Like they must be close. Like they must know each other or something. Or like she must be giving this man like gas money. Which I don't think either of those things are true. Like I think they were just coworkers. I'm gonna do my liner real quick and I'm gonna continue onto the story. They did not know each other like that. But somehow and for some reason Johnny was giving Lisa a ride home every night. And I feel like I'm getting deeper into the story. Johnny did not swing that way. So it wasn't like no sneaky link work thing. But the whole point is, one day, Johnny was like, guys, I have something to tell you. And we're like, yeah, what? I'm moving. Like, this is like my last 2 weeks. And Lisa didn't look too happy about it, right? Y'all see where this is going? So, next couple of weeks go by or whatever, and Johnny is gone. I'm only laughing because this story is so bizarre. It's just like the perfect example of what I'm trying to get across, like this last red flag. So pretty much Johnny leaves, like it was his last 2 weeks, and he moves far, like he's gone, like out of the county gone. One day, Lisa, like not too like long after Johnny's, like one of Johnny's last days, like the next time we were on shift together, Lisa comes up to me and asks like, hey, what time you get off? And I'm like, why? And low-key, we always get off like around the same time. And like the schedules are posted. Like, you know what time I get off. I knew she knew when I was working, what time I got off, all that. I tell her, I'm like, I get off at so-and-so time, but you know that. I'm like, yeah, I get off at so-and-so time. Like, why? What's up? And she's like, oh, I get off at so-and-so time. And I was just wondering if you could take me home. So I saw this coming, but I didn't because I was like, there's no way she's gonna think I'm her new carpool, right? Like, it didn't really cross my mind when Johnny was leaving, but like the look on her face when Johnny said he was leaving, like, I went back to that and I was like, oh, like, she wasn't sad that she was losing like one of her favorite coworkers or friend. She was like, oh my God, I gotta find a new bride. And I guess she thought I was the next carpool situation. And I wasn't going because I don't know you outside this building and I'm not going to kick it with you. And I'm not going to be carpooling with you every day. I don't know you like that. Like, and I don't want to know you like that. So I immediately tell her like, no, like not like flat out, like no. Like I was like, oh yeah, I don't think that's going to work out. Like I'll see, but like, I don't think so. Like probably not. Like I have things to do after work and I don't even know where you live. So then she's like, no, like, you probably can take me home. I live over here. And I was like, oh, good. That's not on the way. I was like, oh, well, I live on this side of town. Like, I live over here. Like, that's out of the way. And then she was like, I'll give you gas money. So she's just not taking no for a no. Like, she's coming up with every, she's coming up with something every time I say something like, oh, no, like, that's not going to work out. I have something to do. That should have been just it right there. She should have accepted it. Like, I got things outside of work to do. Like, you're not going to conflict with my schedule, pretty much. Like, I don't know you like that to be adjusting my schedule for you. Like, who are you, right? So she didn't take that no. And then she was like, well, where do you live? Like, she's just going deeper and deeper. And I'm just like, no, and no is a no. Like, I didn't even have to give you a reason. Like, I could have just said, no, I don't know you like that. But then you would think I'm mean, right? Middle of work, so we go back to working. Do you know, right when I get off, she comes up to me, like, kind of like low-key tries to prevent me from leaving. And she's like, so you're gonna be able to give me a ride? I look her straight in her eyes. I'm like, no, it's just not gonna work. Do you understand? Like, I can't stand people who can't take a no or like push a boundary or just like, it's the same type of person. So it is what it is. I go home. When I tell you, the rest of the time I worked there, it was a problem with her. Like, she did not like me. She'd be looking at me crazy. She would say slick stuff. Like, sometimes she wouldn't talk to me at all on the shift. And I'm like, I do not care. Like, I never cared. But it's just funny. Like, people cannot take a no. And they show the real them when you tell them no. Because she was just trying to use me as a ride. Like, but like, this was a grown woman. Like, this was like a couple years ago too. Like, this was someone who should have had their own car. Like, it was like, what are you doing? And like, bro, you're just not always gonna get your way. Like, people who can't accept that, like, yeah, they're gonna struggle through life. Like, you're not always gonna get what you want. and like you're not always gonna get what you want from people either. Like she thought I wasn't gonna say no because Johnny couldn't say no, and Johnny trapped himself into a carpool situation that I could visibly tell he didn't want to be in. Is probably low-key why he moved in the first place, trying to get away from Lisa. But that's like my little story for that one. And I felt like sharing this because I know other people are trying to like create like meaningful relationships and like have the right people around them. And like sometimes like it's hard to like figure out how to go about that. Once you know yourself, you kind of have an idea of like the type of people you want to be around. It can get kind of difficult, but I feel like once you look into people's character and like get their traits and like who they are as a person, like I feel like this like red flag list kind of is like a guide or like a path to like building like those healthy relationships. Those are all my red flags and people that you should avoid. Some of the red flags I was talking about, like maybe they hit close to home, if you know what I'm saying. But like people like grow every day, like you're not meant to be perfect in life. But like when you don't work on yourself, like those are the people I'm telling you to avoid. Like you're learning different lessons and like actually applying them. I'm not saying those people like don't be around them, but I'm just saying like these are character traits and things you can like spot, and it tells you everything you need to know about the person. But I shared the last red flag and I'm all done with my makeup, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.